Love is a state of consciousness, the capacity in humans to expand and extend beyond self. The word love can have so many meanings. For instance, scientifically, love can be seen as a biological cocktail of chemicals: oxytocin, dopamine, endorphins, and serotonin. Or it could also be a neural pattern where the brain lights up in certain regions as you experience love. It could also mean a regulatory process when the nervous system calms down in the presence of love. Psychologically, love is awareness, acceptance, and a willingness to repair after rupture. It is care, connection, and commitment. Spiritually, love is the recognition that every person is a reflection that is mirroring you, and therefore is a teacher. And so we learn that I grow with you and you grow with me. And practically, love is seen in actions that nourish, words that uplift, choices that respect, and behaviors that create and nurture safety and belongingness in relationships. But have you ever wondered, how can love be seen or experienced in leadership? What does it take for one to lead with love? I'd been thinking about this, and that got me to reach out to my mentor, Lara Yumi Tsuji Bezerra, who in my personal experience is a champion of the virtue of leading with love and also being love herself. Lara Yumi Tsuji Bezerra is the Chief Purpose Officer and founder of WorkCoherence, a purpose-driven leadership and mentoring initiative that is focused on conscious, humane, and value-aligned leadership. Her personal philosophy draws on coherence between inner purpose and professional action, believing deeply in human potential, purpose, and meaningful work as a path to conscious leadership. Lara has nearly 3 decades of work experience across 3 continents and 7 countries, serving in senior leadership roles. She was the first woman leader to assume the executive presidency of a Latin American affiliate of a chemical company in Venezuela. Lara was also the first woman to be elected as a chairperson of Cavenal, the German Chamber of Commerce in Venezuela. Her global experience shaped her perspective on how pharma companies could and should do more than sell medicines, focusing on people, purpose, healthcare access, and patient support. In her last corporate assignment, she joined the company as the managing director. But the most amazing part to witness is that she became the world's first leader to have the title of a Chief Executive Officer to be changed to Chief Purpose Officer. That itself speaks about her profound sentiment towards nurturing a culture centered on purpose and leading with love. Namaste everyone, welcome to your channel. Today we are going to be talking about a subject that resides in everybody's heart. Something that we're all aware of. It's hidden somewhere, maybe not coming up to the surface and waiting for expression, but it's still there. Yes, I'm talking about love. And today we will talk about leading with love. Surprised? Confused? Don't be. Because the world is waking up to this power, the power of courage, compassion, and curiosity. Actually, leading in love and leading with love is a conscious leadership practice that is anchored in clarity, in integrity, and in purpose. Leading with love is also seen in action. It is seen in practice. It is seen in understanding people more than just being mere people or resources, but as human beings. People with fears, doubts, dreams, and potential. And so, leading in love and leading with love are both about presence. And today I have a very special guest with me who's very close to my heart. I'm privileged to call her my mentor, and this is going to be a wonderful session. I'm already sure about it. Please join me in welcoming my dear friend, mentor, guru, Lara Yumi Tsuji Bezerra. Namaste, Lara. Welcome to our channel.
Namaste. Thank you, Richa. Thank you so much for reaching out and inviting me for this amazing, amazing, amazing purpose that you have behind all of your work. Thank you so much. And I am a fan of yours also. Since I met you and you started talking to me when we were in India, I always told, this girl has something very special and she is much, much deeper than even she thinks. So you are a gift for everybody here listening to us.
Thank you, Lara. So are you. And it's been my deep privilege, and I have a lot of heartfelt gratitude because you're one person whom I know personally, um, who has been embodying love right from the first interaction that we had to date. It's been about a decade now, close to a decade that we know each other, and I feel blessed. Thank you so much for giving me your time and blessing me with your divine presence. I'm sure the audience has a lot to take away from today's conversation.
Thank you, Richa.
Great, lovely. Lara, we'll start with talking about the awakening of this concept of leading with love. I know I have been watching you since your days in India, where you've always been embodying love as well as connecting to people with love. And I have seen this in you as a person as well, that you are that kind of person who speaks about leadership that connects people more than connecting numbers or more than connecting KPIs. So, how did this philosophy or this mindset develop within you? Was there sort of a moment where you felt that this is an awakening happening or some sort of an awareness that came to you? How did this all begin?
When I think about it, I think that my journey of leadership was very different from the journey of many other people. And I think that what is so different is that normally the people who are very much attached to numbers and to results normally are people that are very specialists, and then they are being promoted to certain positions and they have the answers. So they have the answers, they know what they want as a result, they know what they want then from their results. And when they start to lead people, they know what they want from the result of these people. Then it's about numbers, results, because they know what they are telling. The point is that when I started to have a very high leadership position, can you imagine that I was like 32 years old and I was sent to Hungary as general manager for Hungary Bayer Pharma. And everybody in the organization, of course, knew the market much more than I knew. I didn't even talk their language. I could not speak Hungarian. I had to learn it. And I came from pharma, from certain steps, but being leader of a huge organization in a transformation because they were entering the Eurozone. So we had to also bring compliance, a new way of working. There were so many things to do. And I was their boss. And there were some people who reported to me that had the age of my father. How you get respect, how you get to be a leader of people who knows much more than you, that knows the country more than you. And for a while, I was overwhelmed because I had to learn the products more. I had to learn everything because I had to have the answers. And then suddenly, I had a very nice coach also that is called Penny Sophocles. She started also to help me to see that leadership is not about knowing what to do, but how to do. Leading is about knowing people. Leading is about giving a space to people for them to do the best, is to get your results through people. And I couldn't have any results if it would not be for this amazing team. And I started to talk to many different ones. I started by talking to each one that reported to me, understanding them, understanding their situation, what they were afraid of, what they wanted to do. And I started to understand that helping them to realize what they wanted. And by talking to each one and each group, and then bringing back to them what I collectively heard about them, how I listened to them, and what I would figure out that we could do as a group was easier than try to tell them what each one had to do in their individual work, because I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of seeing together with all of this love, like believe and trusting, because if you see, if you think, love is not nothing more than trust. Love is trust, because love is trusting people, love is understanding people. And when I trusted them, and the word for my whole time there was trust. We have to build trust among each other, with the market and everything. So it was like trust was the base. And there, Reicha, I knew that trust was the most important thing that I had to have when I would lead anybody, when I would lead any organization. They had to trust me. And nobody trusts other person if they don't have deep inside a love for this person, because love is vulnerability. Love is understanding that this person has the possibility of doing something harm you, doing something bad because they know too much about you, but trusting that they won't use this against you, but they will use this in your favor. So this was how, for me, I think I started this journey of leading with love, because it worked. It worked very well, and we had an amazing time together. I was very successful as their leader, and then with the global also, I got other projects while I was there. So it was a very nice beginning by not being an expert and having to lead people that knew much more than me.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's amazing. To think of it, I think you're one person whom I've personally interacted with as well, who talks about people and business going hand in hand. And generally, the view is that people tend to keep business on one hand and people on the other. So the focus is always on number. So with your experience, I do understand that you have really picked it up from people and given it back to them. So I think that's a wonderful way of serving the society or serving people. In line with that, Lara, I have this question which has been on my mind since I decided to take this topic up. To date, many of the organizations or many of us still think that leading with love as a strategy tends to become very soft and impractical. And so not many want to believe and utilize it. How is it that we can connect leading with love with profit and purpose? What are some of the things that we can do as business leaders or as organizations to connect the three?
Well, I think if you just see business and see things with the clarity and with the consciousness of what our lives, our world really is, there is no way not to connect these three. No, because can you imagine? Because let's say that you don't lead with love and you go to work and you are just like there because it's an obligation. I mean, I could not see myself going to lead a team that I don't love. And one thing that my mother told always when I was looking for something that I would love, I said, oh, I don't know if I want to be archaeologist. I don't know if I want to be psychologist, because I want to find something that I love. And my mother many times told me something very important. You don't have to find what you love. You have to love everything you do. If you do things with love, it's completely different. And if you think in an organization and if you think about results, about love, about KPIs, results, business and love, how can you separate them? If you're doing business, for what you would do business? For money. But you want money for something. What do you want money for? By the end, if you ask why many times, why you want this, why, it's because you want to be happy. You want to live a fulfilled life. You want to be in plenitude. So the question is, can you ever do whatever in your life that is without life? Like, and life, you are just alive, and you are, if you like have this, you don't need to do with passion, but you have to love what you are doing. I love being a mother. I love being a wife. I love being, whatever I do, I really love. And then I ask you, business, what is the difference between business that is done with love, and it's not that it's done with hate or whatever, but it's done without love? It's like the places where people are happy working, where people think that they are fulfilling their purpose in life through their companies because they see the value that this company is giving to the society and is talked about. They can tell this story when they arrive home to their communities. Look what my company is doing, and I'm helping my company do. This is like aligning your individual purpose with the purpose of the company. Wow, then yeah, you will have a productivity. And I dare I make this dare to all of the leaders. Try for 6 months to put purpose and align the purpose of the people with the purpose of the company, and see how is to lead this organization where people are working in an environment that they trust each other, that they are together delivering value to society, they are aligning their purposes, and they have this collective willingness to do something more through the work. Is it more difficult or easier? Your team is more productive or less? More efficient or less? Can you empower them more or less? Can they have better decisions or less? And there is no way, Richa, if you want to empower your team to make good decisions, you have to make sense of what they are doing and bring meaning to the work. So it is one. You cannot separate. And the ones who separate are in trouble. And this we are seeing in the world today.
That's amazing. So how can we use love to shift realities, in the sense that how can we trust upon the idea of leading with love to shift realities? Any experience that comes to your mind where leading with love actually changed the outcome, maybe in a conflict or some sort of a situation in business, or while leading people, or even your personal experience, something that was not expected to happen, but it happened because you led with love?
So I think that, and I give a trick here to the leaders who think that talking about leading with love is something that would be too soft. Just change the word love with trust and care. It's, because sometimes love is like you confuse love from love of lovers, and then you can just use trust with care. And I share a story that that was super important for me, and it was the moment that it was proven that yes, what I'm doing is right, and this is the right way to lead, and this is the right way to help people live their lives. So when we were in Venezuela, we were already for I think 3 years that we were having many challenges with importing the medicines, the oncological medicines, and we were having to kind of distribute all of the products for breast cancer, lung cancer, we had to distribute in a different way. So what we had available, we had to give to the doctors. And at the same time, there was lots of fear that we know that there will be a point where we cannot import anymore. And these are lives. And this is our job. And this is why we are here for, is to save lives. And then it was this crucial moment that we were discussing how we will do, because we know that we don't know if it in 6 or months or 1 year or 3 months, we will not have anymore the products. And we will have to tell the doctors that we don't have anymore. And then we started to think, so if we would be the doctors, if we would be the oncologists, and you have either to finish a treatment of a patient or start a new treatment, what you will do? No? So, and somehow it's like playing God. And you as a pharmaceutical company, you cannot never, ever advise them or suggest. But my parents were doctors. I cannot think differently. And in my head was like, if the doctors would have the right information, that in 6 months, most probably they would not have anymore. They would rather finish some patients, stock some products to finish some treatments for some patients, and then try to send these patients that would not be able to be treated to other countries or whatever, you know? So at that moment, Richa, was about love, was about trust. It's like, remember, definition of love and vulnerability is the same. It's giving the power, it's giving information and the power for somebody to destroy your life and believing that they would not do it. Yeah? And it's like, that moment was like, if we give this information to the doctors and to the market that we might not import, it's like it's digging your grave, because you are telling them that you are not going to import, and you are giving them ammunition to tell whatever they want against you. But at the same time, if we want the best for the patients, and if we want the best for them, and also for the government, we tell government, you are not going to allow us to import, you are buying the product and distributing. And so let's make a communication together, but let's work together, because this is a crisis that is not my crisis. It's not the government crisis. It's not the people. It's a crisis. A crisis doesn't belong to anyone, but everybody suffers. So how we do this together? And then we decided, with transparency, with clear communication, with love, because we loved what we were doing. And even if we were not able to do what we are meant to do because of the circumstances and the crisis, we will do the right thing. And we will give the right communication. And we agreed this, the whole organization together. It was a point that a strategy was discussed in different levels. And people were crazily afraid of the consequences. And then I was telling, the consequences will be worse if we don't tell, and they trust us so much, and we go against our values and we don't tell, and then everybody suffers, and we don't have excuse because we lied to them. We had the information and we didn't give. So let's trust that they will appreciate what we are doing. But let's tell all the story, that we didn't know what to do, but we decided that we will trust them, we will talk to them, and we will give information so they can take the best decision for their patients. And by the end, it was amazing, because everybody was together with us, all the doctors, the patient associations, because we told the doctors we will talk to the patient association also, because they will understand what is going on, and they will be prepared. Everybody will be prepared to deal with the crisis. So it was a movement together with the whole healthcare. It was the doctors, the government, the patients, and it was not nice. But I can tell that from something that it was not nice, it was a beautiful feeling that trust and love is worth. So it was, so this is a very important situation where fear could have prevailed and we could have taken a decision to avoid the problems that we could have, but we trusted that doing the right thing and for the love that we had and respect and trust for the patients and the doctors, they would find a better decision if they knew it. So that's why I am so sure, and I can tell to all leaders, the right decision with love, compassion, and looking to in the systemic way will always be the best decision, because even if something doesn't go as planned, you can explain it and course correct and go to the right direction together.
That's amazing. I'm just absorbing your answer, and it just brings about so many things for me to also ponder upon. It is a fact in today's world that people generally think 10 times before they can trust on something or on a person, or take that kind of a bold decision with conscious action. So thank you for doing it back then, and I'm sure you must have had so many similar experiences when you've taken similar action, knowing you as a person. So thank you for that. At WorkCoherence, Lara, you're doing a lot of work around conscious action, and you've also built a model called as the Coherence Model. I want to understand from you what this model is all about and how we can use it as individuals in our day-to-day life, both as professionals and even in our personal lives. What is it that we can do with the model, and how can we enhance our experience of living?
Well, it's nice that you are asking this, because yesterday I was just making my, 10th revision of my first book that is talking about the model, it's about leading a coherent life driven by purpose, it's around this. And what I don't like the word model, because it's like, there is a model to do something. But I think that it would be more like, yes, it is a kind of way that when people ask me how to do things, I try to see how I do it, and I try to translate in a way that people could follow it. And for me, the way that I describe that, I try to describe always in my whole leadership life, I try to bring knowledge or things that I learn for my teams. So, because if this helped me to live better and make better decisions, I want them to have this also. So I was always very educational about the way that I learn things so I can teach people. So the way that I see it is like I take it as 4 pillars. So I talk about integrality, intentionality, coherence itself, and lifelong learning. The integrality, basically, I tell that you have to see the integrality of your life. And the integrality of your life comes with understand the people and environment that impact you, that impacted you in the past and made you become who you are, and the people and environment that you are, wherever you are, that will make you become the next person you will be. Because it's people and environment that will transform you. So depending on where you are acting, where you decide to do, the people that you hang up, that doesn't matter if you're hanging out with somebody like, oh, this is just for fun, and this person might not be the person that I would ideally spend much time with, but I am with this person because this person is fun. It's not such a nice person, but I will be there with this person. It's like you, by the end, you will be influenced by the people that are around you, by the environment that are around you. And I talk a lot about the past and the future and the narratives and the stories that you tell to yourself. So The integrality is understanding the people and environment and how you tell the stories about this environment and people to yourself. No, because if you live in systems, there are lots of systems. That there is my system, there is your system. When we are together, there are whole huge systems that made you become who you are, that made me become who I am, and the systems that we are engaging with that will make us become a new being in the next period. So it's so big, and if you understand that, oh, this has impacted me, let me be very conscious about the impact that all of this, and let me filter to understand what I need and what I want, because I know who I want to be. At the same time, if I understand that a bad word or even a bad comment that whatever, I have an impact. It's never neutral, it's positive or negative. So the integrality is understand what is impacting you and what you are impacting in the integrality, and to be integrating everything. And the second pillar, that is the intentionality, is to be intentional about absolutely everything that you do in life. You have to be conscious. You have to understand. So the intentionality, the culmination of the intentionality is for you to understand your purpose in a phrase that you tell. Like for me, my purpose today is to elevate humanity's consciousness, to increase their cognitive maturity. So this is my purpose. And I want to start doing this with the leaders and with the organizations, because I think that this can spread more. So wherever I am, I try to bring this, and then come the coherence. Because the coherence is to live your intentionality in all parts of your integrality. And then in the coherence comes one point more, that is, even if you have good intention, even if you are living your purpose all around the whole system that you have identified as the integrality of your life, remember that the motivation can be even more important than the intention. Because there are people that are living their purpose, but they are fighting against everything. So what is motivating the emotion that it motivates their lives is anger, rage, frustration. And this emotion, even if you have such a perfect purpose, and you tell, no, this is like, sometimes we tell, this person is like, wow, this person is so engaged, this person is so, but somehow things are not comfortable, or not everything is a little difficult. It's because of the motivation. Because if the person is like, what you stand for? So I stand for conscious humanity, but I don't stand against people who are not conscious. I'm not fighting against people who are not conscious. No, I am living and I'm trying to bring consciousness. And this is to be coherent is to live your intentionality in all your systems, in your integrality, motivated by a higher cause, by love, by compassion. And lifelong learning is that even if you are doing this already, you remember that life is dynamic. Then a new system might come, you might get married, have children, have a promotion, be invited to do something, and then new systems will come and go in your life, which will change your dynamics of intentionality. So the lifelong learning is that everything that happens, there is no good or bad, you just embrace and you integrate into your journey. And the faster you learn about how to be intentional about everything that you are having, and be coherent and come back to the coherence. In quantum physics, to be coherent is a particle that doesn't change their core, whatever is the external interference that they have. So how your core can be intact and your purpose be intact and just evolve as you can help more. And then you just reinforce who you are and your essence. So these are the 4 pillars of coherence. And when I talk about a coherence organization, I put one pillar more, that is the transparency. That in an organization or in a relation of 2 people, you have to talk about what is your integrality, so the person understands. What is your intentionality? How are you coherent? So talk about your emotions, and each one day that it's not going the right way, you have to talk about it. No? And then you can be coherent and resonate together, because either you resonate or you dissonate with environments or people. And normally, if you dissonate, things don't go to the right direction. So this is my model of coherence: to be integral, to be intentional, to be coherent, to be lifelong learner. And when you are very clear and you tell these stories, you are transparent to make a coherent environment where you can resonate together.
Oh, that's amazing. In fact, it touches upon all the aspects of leading towards creating an impact. So it talks about intention, it talks about integrating, it talks about being coherent, it talks about leading with love. So many things that I can add to the list. That's amazing. And of course, transparency for organizations. So yeah, that's something that's truly amazing. Lara, I know this about you, that you're extremely passionate about ancient Indian wisdom, and you've been exposed to a variety of Indian texts, right from the Bhagavad Gita to Upanishads to so many others. And I do keep reading your posts on various platforms. Sometimes I question myself. Being an Indian, I do not know that much, but it's amazing for you to pick that up. And I want to understand, how did you get inspired to reach out to Indian knowledge and spirituality and connection to business, and how did this begin for you, and how does this relate to the kind of work that you do?
Well, I think that everything goes back to my my Japanese origin, no? Because my mother was Japanese, and I remember seeing my uncle meditating, and I was very curious why he was meditating with crossed legs position, and the yoga was always coming to my mind. And with the years, I started to understand that there is much more in life, and my mother was always very spiritual, although she was not a religious person. She was reading everything, and she was like, I wanted to be a nun when I was 13 years old. I loved to be in the church. I used to be like, I think that it was 3 holidays that I went there, and I stayed in this monastery. I would like to wake up in the morning and pray, and then go to help everybody. So we were always doing something to the communities, cooking, doing some bazaars or something like this. And I liked it. But one of the nuns told me once that, Lara, I think that it's not a good idea for you to be a nun, because if you will be a nun, a Catholic nun, you will just speak for the Catholic community. And maybe you can speak to much more people, and you can have a different impact that just want the Catholic community. And for this reason, it was like I was disencouraged of. I don't know if it was really the reason that she had behind, but this is what she told me, and I carried this with me. And then I always wanted to start yoga, and when I was in Hungary, I wanted to start yoga, and I started to have some classes of Ashtanga yoga, and it was very challenging. But before starting, I thought I need to understand, because it's not about the exercise. I don't know if yoga is exercise. So I want to understand, and I am very curious. I started looking and reading. I started to have these CDs of Richard Freeman, that he talks about the whole story of yoga. And I started to understand that yoga is union. And the practice that we have, the physical practice, are just the asanas. And I started to understand that this is just a part of something much bigger. And as I started to read about it, I was like amazed how this is a parallel to, for example, quantum physics. That my mother was a medical doctor, but she did other degrees, and she was always reading quantum physics and sending like the Heisenberg autobiography. Um, some other quantum physicists that were like Dana Zohar, that was writing about the quantum self, so quantum physics to the self. So all of these interconnections, this interconnectedness of all sciences and spiritualities, philosophies, I started to read all of these, and the yoga. And when I started to read the sutras, and I started to read a little the Bhagavad Gita, and the 8 limbs of yoga, the Ashtanga yoga, that Ashtanga is 8 limbs, is like a kind of ladder for you to connect to do the yoga. And when I understood that this is like, it's a manual for life, it's a manual for leadership. So as I told you before, when I'm very educational, the way that I educate myself, I try to learn in a way that I can share with others. And I was in a corporate environment. So for me to talk about it, I had to find a way to talk about it that it was more spiritual, but with the end goal to make our business better, our lives better. And then I started to bring this language. And I saw that by bringing spirituality to the work through the old Indian philosophy was much easier, because outside India, nobody sees the philosophy of India or yoga as a religion. It's just in India that Bhagavad Gita is like a Bible. But outside, Bhagavad Gita is a philosophical book that teaches a lot. So using this language helped me a lot. And I completely fell in love. If you see all of my shelf, I have like a whole library of Indian books. And I love them. And this is how I got so much into Indian philosophy, and how I love so much Indian culture, the Indian philosophy, Indian mindset. And then I learned about Chinese, the Tao. And then I started to see that all of these, and then these days I learned about the old African philosophy. And it's by the end, the essence is exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing to know. And you're right. In the end, it's all connecting us to oneness, what people may call as God or universe or the higher power or the source or whatever God or whichever God or religion they may follow. So at the end of it, it's all one connecting to all and all connecting to one. So that's amazing. And thank you for the answer. Let's talk about the spiritual element in leadership. I've noticed this about you right from the time I've been following you, which is close to a decade now. And in fact, that's one of the things that really got me to reach out to you and write that note to you so many years ago. You were one of the first leaders, in my understanding, who was talking about relating spirituality to business. And at that point in time, not many leaders were open to the idea of connecting spirituality to business. Of course, in India, we do have champions who speak about the topic and are doing a lot of work around this. But in my awakened state, or less sleepy state, if I can say that, I was amazed, and it was a fresh element to understand that a leader at your level is into all of this. So what are some of the daily practices that you follow, or some rituals that you practice on a daily basis to keep yourself centered in love and keep yourself grounded?
I think this is a very, very interesting question. I would try to have an intelligent answer, but with time I started to have a wiser reflection and contemplation about it. And the last period, like the last 5 years, I think I think a lot about discipline instead of routine. I think that the routine, if you can get slave and you can be frustrated and disappointed if you try to bring a routine. And there was a period that I was like meditating almost 2-3 hours per day. No, and then the vipassana once a year that I told, okay, I will do, and my yoga, the this little reading about spirituality in different religions. So there are so many different things. What I noticed for the last 5 years, what I try is to have a discipline. So I have to have something that is a physical work, something that is a mental work, and something that is a spiritual, a more soul work. And how I try to do it. So if I am not able, there is a period that I am not able to sit 1-2 hours to meditate. I try at least to have 15 minutes of meditation and be in a very alert contemplative state. So I try to be very aware. So I try to, when I am driving, I try to drive and not listening to anything and just observing the trees, the colors. Today morning, I went to run. I went without anything. I just wanted to observe my body, observe the birds, observe the nature, the colors of the sky. So I bring contemplative practices to my life a lot. I try to observe which thoughts are coming and which kind of emotions these thoughts are bringing. I try, and what I did a lot, there was like, I think 3 years ago, I was like for probably one whole year, I was meditating 2 or 3 hours per day. I was able to do it. And I practiced many different meditations. And the meditation that I love the most is the deeper metta meditation. That is the meditation in Vipassana, that is the love. And I cannot explain that when you start to have and feel love and you are intentional about feeling this thankfulness and everything that you look, you are thankful for, and you feel this love, and you start to practice. I started to learn some different meditations, Dzogchen and other meditations of Buddhism, and I started to go some Buddhism speeches, some Vedanta talks. And then you start to listen to this and you start to put together, and you understand that there will be different things in different phase of your life. And it's also super interesting for you to see what appeals to you more in different parts of your life. Right now, I am completely stuck and I'm reading a lot. I'm studying this meditation. I'm studying the origins of meditation and meditation in different religions, the importance of meditation, contemplative practices. And I am studying a lot of this, but I always have something that mentally I am studying, and then I am practicing through my physical work that I am working out but practicing, but also doing either when I do yoga, when I meditate, I try to bring these in a different level. So I am very conscious and intentional about what I'm doing. I am not a person who has the routine and habits, but I try to be very disciplined on having something very meaningful, something that I'm studying and practicing in my life always.
Oh, that's amazing. So what's your idea about self-love? How is it that, our own awareness or consciousness about ourselves or our inner state helps us to lead effectively with love?
Oh, this is a very good question. I think for me, self-love started in a different way, because sometimes it's like we talk about self-confidence and feel confidence and to know that you can. But I think that is beyond it. I think that I tell you something that is funny, no? So I love myself when, for example, it's already like in some of my morning runnings. So there is a lady who I notice a young lady that is running, and she's not running, she's walking, and I go through her in a part of my run that I love, that is the forest, that is a little forest that is closed. But she comes and I am coming here, she's coming here, but she's like this on her cell phone, so looking to the forest, and it's like the first time that I came, I'm always thanking this part of the forest because it's amazing, you know? And I'm always thanking it, and I am so full. And I remember that the first day she was in the cell phone, and I was like, why is she in her cell phone with this place? She's missing her life, you know? And then I thought, I am judging and I am like complaining, and this I have to be better because this is such a beautiful life. I should not be looking at her. I should be happy that she is outside doing something, you know? And then, but I told her, good morning. And then there were like a next day, I came through her and I was looking to her and I said, she's so young and she's doing an exercise like 6 o'clock in the morning. This is so good. And then when I was running through her, I looked at her and said, good morning, have a very nice day. It's nice to see you again. And then she was like, she looked at me like, what this crazy lady is telling? And then she continued. And then today I was running through her, and I don't know what we do, but we always cross ourselves in the same place. And then she was coming, and I saw that she raised her eyes, and when she came very close to me, she raised her eyes, and I told good morning, and she told good morning, and then I just went by. I cannot express the happiness and the self-love that I felt because I had this interaction, and she smiled to me, and somehow I felt that in this lady, I had an impact, that she looked at me and she had an interaction with a human being and she appreciated it, you know? So I think self-love for me is something beyond me. Is when I understand that there is something much bigger and I am able to put some seed in this bigger thing where I feel more comfortable. Mm-hmm. So for me, my self-love comes when I see that I'm doing something good, and because of this something good that I'm doing to somebody or to something, or I feel fulfilled. And this for me is self-love. So I know that is not, I don't know if I could explain correctly, but for me, self-love is something much beyond this body, this being. It's like it's something bigger.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. So tell me about how important, according to you, is vulnerability in the mix of leading with love? How important is it for people to be vulnerable?
Oh, I think that this is so it's like I mentioned that love and trust and vulnerability, I think that they are three things that they cannot be separated, because it's like for me the definition, and there was a speech that I watched. I think it was a video from Simon Sinek or another person, I don't know who was, that gave this definition of love, the vulnerability that is the same as love. That is to give the power to somebody to destroy your life and be sure that and trust that they won't do it. They won't use this against you. And I think that this is vulnerability. And if you think you cannot have love without trust, and for you to trust somebody, you have to be vulnerable. So if you think on me when I started in Hungary, I had lots of problem with being vulnerable because I needed really to prove that I was fit for that position, and people expected me to prove that I really deserve that position. But the moment that I stopped trying to convince myself that I deserve that position. And I try to deserve really that position. And I try to build something out of what I had, that it was like I needed people much more than they needed me. And I needed to tell them, I can only be successful if you are successful. And if you allow me to help you by helping me, telling me what I have to do, then it will be good. And because of the trust that we build there, the love came. But if I wouldn't be vulnerable there, it would be super complicated. And in a relationship, for example, with my children is very difficult because I have to be vulnerable. And you are very afraid normally to be vulnerable to your children, because when they start to be teenagers, they really want to be right. And they want to prove to you that they are more right than you are. And be vulnerable is telling sometimes that, okay, I was not right at this moment, and I'm not sure if what I'm doing is the right thing, because you are never sure, because you are a mother. There is no manual. Each children is different, and even one child develops differently when they are growing up. So telling, sometimes I sit down with my children. And very recently, I sat down with my daughter and I told, I don't know if I'm doing right, but what I want to do is not only be a good mother, but also role model the mother whatever I'm telling you, I want to role model. But I'm a human being. I will make mistakes. I might not do the right thing for you always. But you have to trust me that whatever I am doing is not for me. I don't care if I will be happy or not. And I will believe in you. And I will tell you that you can do much more than you believe that you can. And I will not let you give up. And I will not give up, even if you are telling that I'm pressuring you and you hate me now. But I prefer that you hate me now, but in some years you look back and you tell, my mother never gave up on me. And my mother always believed that I could, even when I believed that I couldn't. So for me, the vulnerability becomes a strength when you are honest and you are transparent. But vulnerability also is a way for you to really connect in a much, 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 much deeper level with any human being. When you are vulnerable, you can connect much deeper with anyone. And they can disappoint you, but it's up to them. Is their karma. You did what you had to do.
Right. In fact, I had read this in the 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak, where it said that every story of love or friendship actually is a form of transformation. So what you came in with and what you leave with would be very different. And that's when you understand the real meaning of love. I don't recall the exact words, but something to this effect. And it just blew my mind that it's so true. What you came in as a person when you entered that relationship or friendship, and when you walked out, that was love. So yeah,
yes,
that's amazing.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I love this book. So a very good friend of mine that I love a lot, so Komal, she gave me this book. And when she gave me the book, I just noticed that I had already, because she had recommended to me before. And and this is the feeling that I have for her, this very, very deep love for who she is, and for what she represents, and what I am when I'm close to her. This is so nice, and I think that this is where you see love coming, when you have these interactions that you transform yourself because of the person, with the person, and for the person. It's nice. It's interesting, no?
Yeah, it is. Lara, after the COVID era, we've realized that there's a growing need for mental wellness and well-being of an individual, also as a society. And it seems that it has now come to light that most of us are struggling with it. So what are some of the practices that we can do as individuals to make this better and to sort of heal the environment inside of us and around us?
Well, I truly believe that contemplative practices is something that we are missing a lot, because in the past, I think that the religion gave us these contemplative practices. Either we pray or we do some rituals, we go every Sunday, or we go periodically to some place that we are all together with one common goal, to connect to something more. So because this is something that is a collective contemplation, and this is like a moment that you are stopping, that nothing in your life is more important than connecting to something sacred. And when religion stopped being a part of our lives because we told that we don't believe religion, we lost our spirituality, and we lost our goodness, and we focus on material. And we need this. And to be like COVID, what happened is people had time to contemplate. People had time to think on who they are, what they want. Do I really want this that I wanted so much? Now I am a CEO of a company and I am at home and do I really want this? My children are here. I am enjoying my children. I'm enjoying this time that I'm having to be at home and to do some calls with my old friends. It's the contemplation. So what I think is that everybody has to be disciplined, very disciplined, to find some contemplative practices. Whatever. Like spend time thinking about something bigger, thinking about death, thinking about what is going to be your thought when you are on your deathbed. If you would die now, did you do what you had to do? So these are contemplations, these are questions that if you do not really stop to contemplate on, you will not live your life fully. You won't. So for me, what everybody has to do to recover a little of their mental health is to be aware and conscious of your mental side, of your inner side, of your soul. So we need medicine for the soul, and medicine for the soul is really bringing your consciousness in a higher level and let your mind be guided by this consciousness and not by the thoughts day to day and passive things, emotions. So if we are able to, and it's not to be in control, but it's like to be able to manage whatever is our life in a way that we decide what we really want from the bottom of our soul, our heart, it will be different. Find a practice. Find anything that you go to talk about things that you don't talk normally. About life, about the meaning of life. Take time to think about your purpose, about yourself, why you are doing what you are doing. Are you going to live a better human being than you arrived in this life? What are you doing to be a better human being? Because if people start to try to see how I can be a better human being than I was before, and if I am conscious to each time I understand the impact I have, and I feel in my heart that I had a good impact because I was intentional this moment, mental health is there.
So, what are some of your experiences? How does lack of love manifest itself in the business world, or in life, or at workplace? What are some of your experiences with this?
I think that the best example in business or in people is about the material, to be thinking on the material side. So if when you start to focus, because the material is just a tool for you to realize your quality of life and be more comfortable, to be able to not have worries, and then be able to go a little deeper in your contemplation, etc. But it's almost like you will try to have a ladder that you will take to go there up in your wardrobe, to take that clothes that you want to use, that is beautiful, that you like a lot. And then suddenly you are struggling with the ladder and you are afraid to go to the ladder, but the ladder is so okay, I want to just escalate this ladder. And it ends up being about the ladder. And then suddenly you are in the ladder, and you are there, and you achieve that, and you look around, and you, why I was climbing this ladder, I forgot. And it's there, but you are not seeing anymore. You just don't see it.
Yes.
And we want to be, we go to college because we want to realize our dream. We want to have a profession that we love, that we think that many people can, okay, I want to do this because this is financially more, it's better. But you cannot do something that you hate. So it has to be something that is, and then suddenly when you start to be successful, or you start not to be successful, you tell, this is not for me, I will look for another thing, because it's about the money. Because success is about the money. And I think that right now, what we are having a lot is a lot of struggle to come back to what really success is. What we have to look for is look for the realization. We are too much outside in the material. And then it's like, I need more. If you get a promotion, that I need more. I need this money. Then this money is buying this and this I need. So it's like, it's about outside. But when you remember why you were doing this and you come back inside, everything will change. So for me, it's all about coming back inside. And there is this book that I love a lot, from Richard Davidson, Clayton Christensen. He was a professor of Harvard. How will you measure your life? And this is the point: is, are you measuring your life by the external things, or by the realization that you have, and the external things are just the tools for you to realize yourself? Do you understand?
Yeah, amazing. So Lara, thank you for that answer, and it's amazing to understand your perspective on this. Now let's look at leading with love from an organizational context. How can leaders actively and intentionally embed love in the DNA of an organization, say even in their practices like hiring or feedback or conversations or day-to-day routine core operations of the business? How is it that leaders can build a culture that's consciously nurturing the idea of love?
I think that there are many, many ways to do it. And I think that I wrote a post about feedback that I think that it was this morning that it was posted. But I think that, for example, there are many things in the business, in the corporation, that started to be so rough, like about judgment, about criticism, about, I will tell you how to do better. And it stopped to being about the relationship, about human beings doing something together for something bigger. And I was talking about the feedback that if we give an environment of feedback to the organization in which it is more like in line with the dialogue, for example, of David Bohm, where you are creating a dialogue because you are just interested and genuinely interested in this person and understand what was the aim that the person had doing what they were doing. And in explaining what they wanted, then probably the person will reflect and understand what didn't go as they planned. And in this interaction and conversation and dialogue instead of debate, you will learn with the person and the person will learn with you.
Mm-hmm.
And the organization as a whole will end up being benefited by this dialogue because you can teach others how to make their plans go according to what they were predicting or trying to plan. And I think that the feedback in form of dialogue is a form of loving. And also is like the celebrations. I think that if you have some rituals in the organization that once a month you celebrate the birthdays and everybody's there, you celebrate the Mother's Day, Father's Day, or the celebrations are also a way of showing love. The performance review is a way for you also to show, because the performance is like how you are performing according to the plans, objectives, and expectations that the organization or the boss had. Even if it's something that the person is not delivering what was expected, is an act of love because it's like, is there anything that I can help you? Because your potential is much bigger, and maybe there is something in the way of you realizing your potential. Is there anything that I can do to help you? Because this is the environment that will make this person that maybe is not delivering correctly feel comfortable to share whatever is happening, is trust, is vulnerability, and then you can really help this person, or this person can see other ways to be helped. So there are so many things to implement love, trust, vulnerability in the organization. That is, I think that the most important is for the person, the leader, who is there wanting to have this transformation, to have something very clear in their minds that I tell a lot to my kids, is that we love everybody. We love the burglar. We love the killer. It's like we love the human beings. We don't like their decisions or their attitude in certain moments, but these are moments, and people can always be different and good the next moment. And we will not stop loving because of some bad decision or whatever. We might not want to be close to people who have constantly making bad decisions, because the consequence will come to us also. But we have compassion about the person because we know that they are making bad decisions because maybe they are hurt, they are hungry, they are insecure. Because any human being who is secure and feel loved, feel safe, will not harm any other person and will be in their potential. So loving everybody and loving everything and understanding the difference about liking or not something small there, or decision or attitude, you disconnect the action and the effect from the person, and you give space for the person to tell, I will come back to my core, to who you believe I am, and I will change. So I think that to bring love, trust to your leadership is about the beliefs that you have inside your heart, and you have to believe in people. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in the relationship of human beings and the potential that there is in this collective wisdom. Otherwise, you cannot bring love, trust, if in your heart, your head, your internal dialogue is like, oh, but this person is stupid. Oh no, but I would do much better than this boss. If you have these internal dialogues, you will never ever be able to bring trust, vulnerability, love, compassion. You will always have a very hostile environment wherever you are, because inside your head, your dialogue is hostility.
Hmm. Such beautiful words. In fact, as you were speaking, I was relating to the time when I first met you. Do you remember? Long time ago.
It was in India, right? It was, but it was also you came to visit me in the building, right?
Yes. So, if you're okay,
Yes.
I'd love to share this with the audience.
Yeah, of course.
So, a long time ago, I had the opportunity to once see Lara in the same complex. So, both of us worked in the same building, and she was with Dana Donaher, right?
Zohar.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just happened to see you two in the lobby waiting for your car, and somehow I got excited to just write a message to you on LinkedIn, and immediately I took that action of just writing a note to you, and you responded with a lot of love and called me to your office for a lunch date. And right from the time I entered at the reception to your office to the area that you were seated in, I could see the way you were interacting with people, checking with them on how they've been, and some of them were returning from a vacation, others were in some cycle meeting or something of that sort, and you were reaching out to each one of them. You spoke about birthdays, you spoke about family events, and this was just as we were walking from the reception to your office. Even the lunch that we had, you were so kind to me, and I remember you asking me about my preferences, asking me about what is it that I enjoy eating, and so on and so forth. So it started with a conversation around HR and around people management, and it then translated into something else. And I remember leaving with a feeling of love. I felt so loved and cared for, that I was amazed and blown over, Lara. And thank you. To date, I do carry this memory, and whenever I'm telling somebody about you as a person, I end up speaking about this, and I make them sit down and I let them go through the whole story each time over and over again. In fact, my entire family knows about this. So, yeah, my mom, my dad, they haven't even seen you, but they know who you are. So,
How
that's
nice.
the kind of impact you've had on me. And from there on, every interaction that we've had, you've always showered love, attention, personal care, commitment towards ensuring that whatever I'm doing in my own space is something that is adding value. And with leaders like you, I'm reminded time and again that there's hope, there's a future that we can look forward to with regards to empowering people with consciousness. So thank you so much, Lara, for that amazing conversation. Which brings me to the last segment of our conversation, which is Snap to Self. It's like a rapid fire round. Not many questions, but we'll make it quick, right? I know you may have
Okay.
another meeting to attend. So I'm just going to give you either a word or a short sentence or a small question to answer, and then you have to give me the answer after snapping and tell me what comes to your mind as soon as you think of the question, right?
Okay.
So can we begin?
Yes.
Great. So one word that defines leading with love,
Coherence.
and one emoji or emoticon that you can use for the same.
The little face with hearts on the eyes.
In the eyes. Okay. If your leadership style was a feeling, what would it be?
Gratitude.
If love was a superpower at work, how would you use it? Would you use it for reading minds, or would you use it for lifting moods?
Lifting moods.
Great. One leader you feel who embodies love in action.
Wow. Dalai Lama.
Amazing. Your love language as a leader, is it words, time, or acts?
Time.
What's more loving, listening deeply or giving clarity?
Oh, listening deeply.
You have to snap.
Okay.
because we have to wake people up.
Okay.
All right. What's one blind spot in yourself that leading with love helped you uncover?
Fear of non-accomplishment.
Wow. What's that first sign which indicates that a leader has forgotten to lead with love?
Self-consciousness.
Your daily love ritual for yourself?
Meditation.
And finally, what are you consciously creating today?
Consciousness.
Wow, that's amazing. Great. Thank you, Lara. Thank you for those lovely answers and all the wonderful wisdom that you've shared with us. I'm sure the audience has a lot to pick up from it, and there's so much to learn from you, both as a person and as a professional. I've been following your story for a very long time now, and with every post that you put up on LinkedIn, it's always talking about something that's adding value to the way we do things, be it business or personal life or just as human beings. So thank you for being that wonderful person who wants to take the effort to add value to people's lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Richa. And I am super proud for what you are doing. And I'm pretty sure that world will be a better place with everything that you are doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you.